Hey, everybody, and welcome to Keeping It Spiritually Simple. And today I have an amazing guest, Daniel Scranton, who I love talking with, not only in session with the guides, but also personally. And he is here today to answer some burning questions. How are you, Daniel?
Good, good. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Well, I just want to get right to it. Shall we just send out an invitation to whoever would like to
To
come
whoever.
through? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's just
Yeah.
do it that way.
All right. I'm always surprised too by who comes through because I can just leave it open to them. So we'll do that.
Okay.
Um, see what happens. Yes. 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 Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. We are the Andromedan Council of Light, and we are very excited to be connecting with you in this way.
Oh, thank you, Andromedan Council of Light. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, it is a
So,
pleasure for us.
yes. So I'm just going to cut to the chase. We've got a lot of lip babbling, burning going on about the April 8th solar eclipse. Are we to expect anything and what might it be?
Well, the major changes that are occurring there on Earth are occurring in the non physical, energetic realm of your psyche first. And so you're literally deciding as you go, as you get closer and closer to that date, you're deciding which timeline you want to be on as an individual. Now, you may look and say, well, there's obviously something big that's going to happen. It's going to happen no matter what I do, think, or say about it. Because everyone is talking about it and everyone's saying it's going to be this, it's going to be that. I'm not sure which one of these channelers or psychics or astrologers to believe. So I'll ask a higher authority. But really, you are the higher authority. And this is the message that the Arcturians were giving to all of you at the beginning of the month of March, which is that this is a month where you are more empowered to decide for yourselves which timeline you want to be on. And so, as you look at a future event like April 8th is from where you sit right now, it's in your future by a couple of weeks. And you say, well, what's it going to be about? What is going to happen? And we're saying to you, use this auspicious event in your calendar to say, all right, this is what I want to occur. This is what timeline I want to be on. And this is how I want to use that extra energy that will be sent to me and to the rest of the inhabitants of my planet to utilize in whatever way that we see fit. So, really, it's about you deciding what you want to occur on that date, because no matter where you are, no matter which timeline you're on, there'll be a version of the human collective there with you, and therefore not everyone has to agree what the April eclipse is going to be about from where you
Thank,
are right now. From where you will be on the 8th, it will be the truth that you all tap into in that moment together.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it brings me to another question. For source light, is it amplified through planetary alignments?
Source light is available in equal amounts at all times to all beings. However, you do set yourselves up to receive more of it at various times. The birth of a child, for example, would be one of those times. An equinox, a solstice, an eclipse, a moment of lovemaking, a moment where you are in the beauty of nature and you're in such appreciation and you spot a wild animal that you didn't expect to see and you get so excited. There are moments where you let more of Source's light in, but it's available at all times, and it's really up to the individual to put themselves into that place through whatever means they have in the physical, through meditation or even through enjoying a particularly delicious meal. You can do it in so many different ways there in the physical. You can allow in so much more of that light to come and play with you and move through you. And that's what we always are recommending.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But would
Yeah.
you say that celestial and ET energy comes through, it's more heightened during planetary alignments, which is why people follow so much about the moon and the sun and eclipses and partial eclipses?
If you're tapped into it, yes. If you're closed off to it, then it's not going to have a desired effect or possibly any effect on that individual. Just like if someone goes and gets a healing session from someone else, the person getting the healing should open themselves up to that person and their abilities. They should be lying there doing more than just thinking about their taxes or their bills or a conversation they had with someone in the car on the way over. They should be lying there opening up to receive those energies and really benefiting from the sights and smells of the treatment room and the way the person has feng shuied it to give each of their clients the necessary boost to their vibration. But you have to be open. You have to be open to receive money. You have to be open to receive love. You have to be open to receive healing. And all the benefits of these celestial events are not necessarily going to impact everyone in the same way, because some people will be setting up their altars and their crystal grids and be meditating outside and opening themselves up in that moment, and other people will be watching TV.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, let's get past the eclipse because that was really the burning question I think listeners want to know about because it's happening in the now. But between May, June, and July of 2024, is there any celestial or expected events to occur? And if so, what would be the purpose?
The purpose is always an invitation to give each and every person the opportunity to recognize that they are more than just their little self in their physical body that they were taught they were from a very young age. So if you're taught that this is where you end at the edge of the skin, edge of the skull, that's where you end, and the rest of the world begins, and other people are also separate from you because they have separate bodies, then you can continue living your life with that type of mentality. But of course, if you start to see yourself as part of a universe, or start to see yourself as the universe in a form that you take on for a particular experience, then you can see how everything affects everything else. So, as the fluttering of the butterfly's wings affects the weather, and as the thought that you think affects someone in another part of the world, and as every good deed you do ripples out and causes a pay it forward type of effect amongst all humans, you do have this connection to the celestial. You have this connection to all the planets and stars and moons and comets and asteroids and so on, that as you tap into it and you see that this is an extension of me, this is an extension of who and what I really am, then you can get interested in it from that standpoint of, this is really a phenomenal experience that we're having when there's an eclipse or a full moon or a solstice or an equinox, and you're available to those energies to work with them in whatever way that you want to, but there's no set way in which they're supposed to be experienced. Some people may like to put water bottles out to get charged by the energies of a full moon or a new moon or an eclipse, and then drink that water and take in the essence of more of who they really are, because you are this universe, you are that starlight, you are that sunlight. And as you address your life and your world in that way, you start to live in a more natural way, in a way that is more reflective of the true you.
Hmm. Thank you very much. Are we expecting to get a lot of our memories back over the next maybe 90, 120 days?
Well, when you say we, that would depend on who you mean. If you mean the people who are interested and acknowledging that you have memories to get back, and you set the intention to do so over the 3 or 4 month period that you're talking about, then yes, absolutely. It's all based on what you are looking for, what your intentions are, and what you believe. So if that's what you're looking for, and you recognize that every time in all of time is a reality that you're able to step into in whatever way that you want to, and you can receive whatever you want and expect to receive at any time, then you'll use whatever time period you feel is appropriate to access those memories. But it's also necessary for each and every person to think about that word appropriate, because if you have a lifetime where you were kidnapped and you were tortured and you were killed in prison, uh, what would be the appropriateness of accessing that memory right now, unless you need to know why you've always had a fear of being abducted or something like that? So it depends on whether it serves the person or not to access a past life memory, to access a pre-birth memory, to access a memory where you were with the angelics, where you were a part of an angelic collective in the 12th dimension, where you were birthed into the universe itself through the gate of Arcturus. There's lots of different types of memories that a person could have. And really, if it serves a person to have a memory, then they can put forth that intention every night while they fall asleep. Well, I want to have a dream about something I need to know about, something that serves me to know about, That has already happened from where I'm sitting now linearly in my evolution, so that I can grow from that, so I can use that information to have more of my gifts, or to remember my ET visitations that I had as a child and integrate more of that.
Oh, Andromeda and Council of Light, thank you very much. Those are very powerful words.
Mm.
And if you have any other words you'd like to share, and then maybe we could close with a blessing for all of our listeners.
Well, we do understand the desire to know about what's going to happen. We do see how much more interest there is in a video when, say, there's something in the title about what people can expect to happen, what might happen. Because, of course, that's something humans have been doing for a very long time. You've had to survive there on Earth through some pretty harsh weather conditions, for example. And so it was often helpful for people to know whether there was going to be a very bad hurricane, a very bad snowstorm, a drought, torrential rains, whatever was going to happen, an ice age. Of course, it's important for people to be able to prepare for these things. And when you approach your life in that way, moving forward, as though you're meant to just survive it and you need to know what's coming, so you need to stock up on all the right supplies and build your bunker underground and those types of things. But to go through life with that type of mentality is to say, these things are set in stone, they're going to happen. I'm meant to just survive them, or maybe benefit from them in some way. But for the most part, I want to know what's going to happen, so I know where to put my investments, so I know how long it's going to take before I can come out of my bunker, and those types of things. That's really not seeing oneself as a creator being. And so we would far more appreciate seeing people wondering, how is it that I can tap into more of my potential as a creator, a manifester, and someone who is evolving their own consciousness on purpose with each and every breath, with each and every thought. And when people start to get more interested in those types of things rather than on what will happen, or what this is going to be about, or who's going to win the upcoming presidential election, and those types of things, then they'll start to see that they do have all the power within themselves to choose how much they're going to activate within themselves in any given moment. And that is ultimately the most empowering way and the truest way to live, since every person is creating their reality, whether they realize it or not. And we seek to empower people by reminding them of that, rather than just telling them, well, here's the timeline you're destined to be on, no matter what you do, think, or say. Because none of that is actually true, but any prediction can make itself true for a person if it's said to a person who's suggestible with enough conviction that the person then absolutely believes that it is the one and only timeline that they could possibly be on.
Thank you.
So our blessing to you is a blessing of our acknowledgement of who you are. You are no less source energy beings than we are. You are no less of a source energy being than source is. And we bless you with the remembering of who you really are, of the acknowledgement of who you really are in every moment of every day, so that you can think, act, and speak accordingly, so that you can see all others as source energy beings and treat them accordingly. And we bless you into the knowing of the truth of the unconditional love that powers your very body, that gives you the ability to breathe and to think. And as you feel grateful for the opportunity to experience yourself in this way, you will live a blessed life. You will see everything, in fact, as a blessing, because it absolutely is. We all get to exist because of the grace of Source, and that is the biggest blessing we could ever receive.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yes.
you, Andromedan Council of Light.
Very welcome. Very welcome indeed. We are the Andromedan Council of Light, and we have enjoyed serving you in this way. Hello.
Hello, Daniel. You know, I when I started to think about questions to ask, for me, I pretty much kind of know a lot of it. So I was trying to think of what viewers might enjoy
Of
hearing.
course.
I even looked up like what to ask a master channeler. And one of the questions was, what is the significance of life in the universe? And I went, oh, that is so Google. That is so ridiculous. That is not a question for Daniel. Definitely not. Well, anyway, thank you very much. So, my goodness, you've got a lot going on. And I know I'm going to have your website in the description, danielscranton.com. But, you've got courses coming up. You've got your book that you have out for sale. You have so many things going on. Please tell our listeners what's happening and what your specials are.
Oh yeah, well the books are all out on Amazon. Ascension: The Shift to the Fifth Dimension is the series. The volume 5 came out probably now about a year ago. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
remember how long it's been out for. But those are all very searchable on Amazon. And in April, I start a new channeling course. It's called Learn to Channel Mega Course. It's at danielscranton.com/mega, MEGA. And we meet 2 hours each month for 9 straight classes. And I teach everything I know about channeling. I teach you what I know about the different beings, how to access them. And then I take people through the practical exercises to get them channeling. And I've had a lot of success with it. This will be like the 11th time that I've taught this course. And so I've taught hundreds of people now in the course. And then since 2013, I don't even know how many people I've taught how to channel, but it's one of my favorite things to do is to teach it, to give everyone else the chance to go and fish for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I took your course, I guess it was during lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
and I know it just helps to broaden and sharpen some skills or develop some skills you didn't know you really had, but helps you
Mm-hmm.
hone in and tune them in. So I recommend those courses to everybody. I also think your sessions are amazing, and I know that you're really booked up with those a lot. So I'd recommend somebody make a session appointment and then take a course in the interim just to kind of
Hmm.
get their own juices going. I think that's helpful.
Yeah, yeah, it's usually about a 5 month wait right now to get a channeled reading from me. And they go in 20, 40, 60, or 80 minute increments. So obviously the 20-minute ones, they usually can get in quicker with if they purchase one of those at danielscranton.com/session for that.
Yeah, I always know mine are booked up a year in advance.
Mm.
I'm no dummy. I like getting on the schedule. All right,
Yeah.
so what else is happening?
I usually do every month, I do a group healing. I do a full moon or new moon manifestation event. So I've got those coming up in April too. There'll be a new course, a 3 week course I'll start in April. There'll be an advanced group channeling class, which will be a standalone 2 hour class. So I do all those things every month, plus every Thursday night I do a group live Q&A. So if you go to my website and you just check the events tab, you see all the various events that you can sign up for popping down in that drop down menu.
You're just a 24/7 worker bee of
Yep,
source, aren't you?
yep. I like to do. I
Yeah.
like to do.
Yeah, I know. And I know you gain energy through
I
doing
do.
it. Yeah, and I get that. I get that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
it's true.
awesome. Yeah, I'll have your description in the website. I mean in the your website in the description down below. Is there anything else you want to add for everybody?
Oh, when they sign up for the email list, they get a free guided meditation from Archangel Michael. They get a discount code for 50% off their first session. And the daily emails just make it easier for you to keep up on what the Arcturians, Andromedans, and others are saying about what is happening.
Yes. Yeah, because if you can't get on YouTube and watch it, it's easy to hit the speak button and let it read. So I'll do that sometimes. I could be putting my makeup on in the morning and I'll hit speak and I'll just let it talk to me
Uh-huh.
because I don't have time to pay attention to the YouTube or
Well,
I'm
if they go on
driving.
YouTube and they subscribe there and click the bell, then they'll get an email, I think, notification from YouTube saying, hey, he's got a new video. So
Oh,
that's the other way
okay.
to do it. Yeah.
Well, I think every email I have gets your notification. So we're all good over
Yeah.
here. They just need to
Yeah.
start doing it on their end, all the listeners, so that you
Yeah.
don't miss anything. That's for sure. Well, Daniel, I'm going to stop the recording, but I want you to hold still for a second. Um, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time to come on through your busy schedule. It always just, I've waited months for this and I'm so excited, but I do value your time. And I know you got to get back to other people. So if there's anything else you want to add, if not, just say goodbye, everybody, and then I'll
Bye,
talk to you in a second.
everybody. Bye, Sandy. Thank you.